Good morning, welcome to this week's episode. When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in rivers. Those, of course, are the opening lines to Fix You, fantastic song by Coldplay, which I've sung with many, many choirs over the past 12 years. Welcome to this week's episode of Choir Leader in a Kayak. I'm back in the garden because I've broken my paddle. I will be honest with you, it's not the only paddle that I have, but I did think it would be a good metaphor for this week's episode because, as I'm sure you've gathered over the past 9 months or so that I've been doing the episodes, actually I think it's nearly 10 months now, last September, October I started, it's really all about metaphor, isn't it? And the things we see and the conclusions that we make, and also it's a lot of my work is around song lyrics and how those resonate. So my paddle broke yesterday and I was busy trying to get in and out of my kayak, and to do that efficiently without falling in the water, there's a technique that you can use where you pop the paddle behind you and then you kind of put all your weight on the paddle. So as long as the blade of the paddle is sitting on something stable and the other blade is sitting on something stable, you shouldn't fall in the water. However, my blade was not sitting on anything stable, and I knew my paddle was going to break, but I still needed to get back in the water, and I just didn't feel like falling in, even though it was really, really hot. And actually, that probably would have been the better thing to do, just fall in and not have a broken paddle. Anyway, my paddle is broken. Today's episode is all about things that break. I started the day yesterday as well, being given a beautiful gift, and just before it was given to me, part of it fell on the floor and smashed, and it was actually quite a precious present, and the person giving it to me said, "Oh, don't worry, I might be able to get another one that's not broken." I said, "No, you know what, let's just fix it, it's fine, we can use glue and we can stick it back together again." And that's what we're doing, actually. We're fixing this small piece of this beautiful present, and it will work again. And there's a Japanese art form, I'm going to read it because I want to get this right, called kintsugi. I hope I'm pronouncing it right for those of you who may be familiar. And this is the Japanese art of repairing broken pottery by mending the areas of breakage with lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, so that when you see the crack that's been fixed, it shines out. It's there for you to notice. It's not there to try to gloss over. And that's kind of the metaphor really for the week, that so many things get broken. And certainly this last 3 years in my life, both personally and professionally, have had to watch many things breaking. Lots of health problems to deal with, and some very sad stories around illness that hasn't gone away, and indeed lots of times of feeling very broken-hearted on behalf of people who have lost those who they love. And I think this metaphor around breakage and my paddle breaking and me gluing things back together again yesterday, things will always get broken, and perhaps the way to try to accept that is to show the flaws and use the art of kintsugi, and know that even if something's broken, it can be fixed and actually be more beautiful than it was in the first place. So I look forward to seeing you next week. I've just noticed actually behind me is a little metal heart, and it's rusty, but I think it's still beautiful. Would I throw that heart away from the garden because it's a bit rusty? Not at all. I think it has an absolute charm. So have a lovely, lovely week, and I look forward to singing and sharing some metaphor with you next week. Lots of love. Bye bye.